call the meeting of the Finance Committee to order at 6:40 p.m. Tonight is Tuesday, May 14th, 2019. We're being recorded by Area 58. On tonight's agenda is budget discussion, participation, and adjournment. We're going to have Steve and Scott both in to discuss potential changes or reconsiderations of their articles on town meeting floor. But in the meantime, the only other thing we have here is those of you who are new to the Finance Committee might want to attend the new officials finance forum. There's one coming up. It's at Holy Cross in Worcester. Sandy and I have both been, and we both found it really helpful. If you don't want to go, they put all this stuff up online after for free, so you can also do that. But
I've been as well. It's pretty good.
oh, that's right. We went there. Yeah, we went together. So it's really, really helpful, and you get good materials from it. And I think I've passed along their website to you when you joined, too. So
And the town will pay for it.
yeah. So what we can start doing, I guess, is talking about this idea of reconsidering the position requests, because the justification. Hey, Steve, come on.
Is Linda coming
We
tonight?
want to set, yes.
That's a mess.
Sit there.
Wherever you want.
Steve, you can sit
You be
there.
on camera.
You won't bite me, will it?
I won't. No, look who's behind you.
Yeah. You can sit between us.
Thanks.
She won't bite, but I do.
So we wanted to chat about two things. One is the Kubota, and the second thing is the new position requests. So I guess we can start off with the Kubota, and I know that came in. You have a quote for a lower number now than we had. That's Article 45, I believe.
If you want to see the new one, this is it right here.
Oh, thank you. So just to,
You can just pass that one around because I'm
yeah.
short on paper.
So how does this one differ from the one that had the
It's
previous
smaller.
one?
Just less horsepower, it's smaller. The machine on the side, on the back, that's smaller. Everything's smaller on it, but it still will do what I need to do.
Okay, so you feel confident that it can still.
Yeah, because also on the bottom, if you look on it, there's another attachment instead of the rototiller and the, what was the other one? The rototiller and the York rig. I end up getting a box that we can do the dirt roads,
Okay.
because this last winter, since we don't have the grader,
Yeah.
this can touch up. We'll pay for a grader to come in twice a year, and this will touch up in between.
Okay.
So it's got the additional functionality.
And then also I can get a front end loader for it with a pushing thing for snow.
Sorry. Because I know one thing was, like, well, we have equipment that would do cutting the lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But if that does more
not
than
just
just
for cutting
that,
the lawn.
then,
Yeah.
And it's not even cutting the lawn, it's roadside.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was asked on Facebook, there's a big difference between that machine and the machine that they got 4 years ago, the Toro. That's just for road, for the fields.
Yeah.
And that is for roadside, so it'll do brush, grass, everything.
My wife asked that exact question today.
What's that?
What you just said.
Yeah.
Was she at town meeting for that?
No, because my son's got bronchitis, so she's at home taking care of the kid.
No, I didn't know if she was at that town meeting years ago and put the tractor.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
that was quite a
And
bit of
I did
discussion.
call OSHA, because I know they're gonna bring up, because it's got an enclosed cab,
Yeah.
and there's no law saying we have to have a cab, but he asked me, why wouldn't you want a cab? Because it's a safety issue, and then if you do out there in the winter, if you get the snow pusher, then you're gonna want the cab in.
So what's the new price on it, Steve?
Just in time, Lenny.
45.
45?
Oh. Thanks, Steve.
Hey, I went smaller. It's still orange. Well, it's on the, and I'll be buying it off the state bid, so it's the lowest price I can get for that.
Yeah.
Is it 45?
Yes. That's with, so I can get lights, the radio, and the
Equipment.
Halifax highway on the side.
Bill, were you able to look at it, Bill?
Yeah, I saw it.
So I'll entertain a motion to reconsider the Finance Committee recommendation for Article 45, just so we can open up discussion.
I'll make a motion on it.
reconsider?
Reconsider.
Second.
Moved in second, all those in favor of reconsideration?
Aye.
Okay. So, in terms of what anyone's sticking points were, or anyone's general reservations about the original plan for the Kubota versus this one, or any questions they have for Steve?
You missed, I changed a couple of the attachments.
What was, I know you had two before. You still
I
have
had
the
3
solo
before.
one.
Yeah, I had 3
Well, you got
before.
rid of the third one. The third one wasn't included in the last price that you had, right?
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
I had the York rake.
I thought you took the York brake off the last time you loaded it.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
still
you
had it.
used
I
to.
still had it on mine. So.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay,
I
so
sort of remember saying that.
Yeah.
yeah, because we have the other one still. It's falling apart, but we still have it.
Who has one? Jesus, what's his name? Scott has one.
Scott.
Materna?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My dad sold it to him, actually.
Oh,
No.
really?
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Brand new.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about Halifax.
So that new attachment on the bottom, that's for doing the dirt roads. We had such a bad time this winter, and we can touch up the dirt roads.
Yeah,
during
we
the
said
wintertime.
that. Bill and I actually said that when we came to visit, what, over a year ago now.
Yeah. So, and everything else on it's smaller. I mean, that's the lowest I can, that's the lowest I can go for that attachment.
I appreciate it. That was my whole gripe, was that we did it for 20-something years.
Yeah. It was big, but it was more stuff I could get in the future.
Yeah.
But I think we can get by with that. I know we can get by with that.
That's what I like to hear. That's all I need.
I'm personally comfortable with you saying that you're confident that it has all the stuff that you need it to do.
So how do we go from the, we need the big one to we can downsize?
The other one just was a bigger, that's a 5 foot or 6 foot, no, that's a 5 foot, and the other one is, I think was 6. So most of our roadside isn't 6 feet wide, so it would have been overkill.
For
For the roadside mower.
I'm talking about the tractor itself.
Oh, the horsepower. I don't need as much horsepower because of the smaller attachment. The whole thing before was the horsepower. So if I wanted to get bigger attachments later, I could go get whatever I need, whatever I wanted.
Is there a concern with longevity? You going with the smaller?
No,
size
because
parts?
like Lenny said, that other one lasted us
I
20-something
mean, they should have
years.
put that thing in a museum somewhere as a feat of engineering.
The tractor?
Yeah, the old
The
tractor.
Kubota, yeah.
So now I'm talking about the attachments, because you had the flail arm.
Right, this one has more,
Wasn't the proper size for the other tractor.
oh yeah, if I went with a smaller tractor, it wouldn't have worked with that piece of equipment, the attachment. There is other kinds of attachments you can get, but it wouldn't go off the road as far. This way we can stay on the road, we don't have to drive off the road. So it's, like I said, it's safety for, most of our roads aren't flat on the side. They're sloped. So,
Yeah, on the way to work this morning, I saw in Middleborough had an enormous John Deere with their huge telescopic
Yeah.
arm mowing like a foot beside the tractor. It was kind of comical, but it's
Yeah.
huge.
yeah.
Like the ones on the highways that do the embankments there between.
Yeah.
Well, basically,
It
that's
can
what that
reach up
other
like
one-
12 feet,
yeah.
and he's literally like a foot from his tractor.
Yeah. But that's part of the reason why I want that, because they didn't have a second machine going with it. So that machine has to go back and forth like 3 or 4 times to do
Right.
the same area. This way you get one pass
Yes.
each and you're done.
Nice. How often? Remind me, how often do you mow?
Right now it's going to be a lot more often because we got to try to catch up for the years that it hasn't been done.
How long would it normally take if you were caught up?
Two months. Usually what happens is you do it at the end of the year, at the end of the summer. So September, October usually is what that machine would be used for.
So you don't like mow every few days like we do during the
No,
summer?
no, we could if we had time, but we don't have.
Okay. So it's more just to make sure people can see around the corners that it stops and
Yeah.
stuff.
That's the majority of it.
All right. I have no other questions.
Can you answer that question, Steve? I'll entertain a motion for the finance committee to recommend the transfer from undesignated fund balance, the sum of $45,000 to purchase and equip this new Kubota for the highway department.
Make a motion? I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Remind me, how much was the resource officer, was that 34?
36.
36.
36, so we had a $23,000 balance, balance in undesignated funds,
Yeah.
assuming everything passed, so.
Well, the warrant.
But that-
But then we didn't touch
So 36,000 was
Yeah.
raised and
Raised and
appropriated.
appropriated.
It was not undesignated fund balance.
Okay.
So we,
But this
So
this
that's
amount
good.
was included on the,
yeah.
Yeah.
in
It
the
was
tally,
towards-
for undesignated fund balance.
In case it
It was
passed.
Right.
50,
It was 51.
51, so we're gonna gain.
Six.
6,000.
Yeah. So we're up 42 from what we had originally predicted. So the other thing we were gonna talk with both you and Scott about were the position requests. So when we talked about the resource officer, we made it clear that across the board, we denied new position requests from you, from Scott, and the resource officer, which we considered new even though it wasn't in our operating budget. But the conversation that we had been having around those were that we understand the need for both you and Scott and why you've made good arguments about those positions. So we had been talking about, we had plugged in sort of the bus and the resource officer, assuming they would both pass, but since the resource officer didn't pass, we wanted to at least have the discussion about the positions. It's a little tricky, not tricky, but we did sort of express that we went across the board and denied all new positions, but I don't know what your kind of stomach is for moving this from the floor, if you'd feel comfortable, if you want to have that discussion on town meeting floor, and I'll ask to chime in.
I don't like speaking anyway, but
Yeah.
I could speak, if somebody brought it up, then I could speak on the hours we have to do something like that, if that's,
So Sandy was kind enough to pull back, Glenn, on the wage information. So there's one for highway and another one for building. It's Tuesday.
Highway is the two-pager.
Yeah. So it looks like your total ad would be 30,636. So on the second page, that's that difference, the combined difference of highway and cemetery. So essentially that would be the ask from highway would be 30,636. Just for the finance committee's information, the other sheet is the building maintenance, and their addition for that new position would be 11,950. So the two of those together would put us at 42-ish, which is right about what we have.
What was the resource officer?
36.
Plus the.
We just gained 6 back from the
32.
quota.
The quota was free cash though.
Oh, undesignated, yeah.
How are you gonna justify this when you already said,
Right, that's why I'm not saying that the finance committee recommends this. We have gone on record that we don't recommend, but I wanted to see if that was something that you wanted to have the conversation on the floor and see if the town was amenable to it or not, because.
if I have to, I have to, I mean, it's my job.
Yeah, our issue was that when we went line to line,
Yeah.
we couldn't afford the 2 new town positions
Yeah.
and a resource officer. So with the resource officer failing,
Yeah,
we could have squeezed it.
yeah.
But the only thing I worry about is every year, at least I assume every year, is the starting point is level service. So
Yeah.
if we're struggling this year
Yeah.
for all 3 positions, I'm assuming that this resource officer is gonna crop up again next year. So it's gonna be an ongoing battle. If they were to approve the 2 positions this year, and then the resource officer comes up next year, we're in the exact same position we were this year.
Yeah.
We're gonna be looking at cutting elsewhere,
Yeah.
because we typically don't cut services. The baseline is always level. So once you add that, you've now added level, you've added to the insurance pool and everything else, so, I don't know, that's my only concern.
he's expanded on the way I felt about it, that you had a justification of, no offense.
Oh, no, I don't take
Everybody
offense.
makes needs, but, you came up with a rationale. And now you want to go back to that rationale.
Well, I don't think I'm going, me personally.
Well, I'm not saying, I'm not looking at you saying I'm talking about the collective
Yeah,
eye.
yeah.
That you made a statement, and I think it was correct, that the decision was made, levels funded, level service, no new positions. Now, just because we won a battle, we're gonna reward somebody. And it's still costing money. So,
How about working out a deal? No.
I think the reason I wanted to open up at least the discussion, just sort of from the chair's position, is that the stormwater management stuff does add another level to this discussion, that it makes it different. And I think, and yell at me if I'm misrepresenting our previous conversation, was that when we were thinking about the multiple positions that were being offered, the thing that was nudging this one to the top was the stormwater management need. Because I completely agree with what you both are saying, that we sort of came up with the party line, which was no new positions, level of service budget, and that's, I think we're all really comfortable with that. But I think we also were sort of saying that, look, we understand the rationale, that you're not just sort of trying to add a new position for new position's sake. It's that these mandates are going to drive a new personnel need.
It almost looks like they're looking to find towns because they've been doing it left and right.
but I think he should, my recommendation would be that you really track what it takes to deal with
This year,
stormwater.
but that was my
And
thing.
then come back
Yeah.
next year, and here's your case.
Yeah.
Right.
Except for the
Yeah.
fact that
I
if we
realize
don't
you have
meet
to-
the needs, we've just paid a $50,000 fine, which would have easily paid for
Well, I
the
think we would
position.
meet those first before doing anything else,
Right.
like,
And again, you heard last
Well-
night of everybody complaining about the road, so that's what you're gonna tell them tonight.
yeah.
I can do it, but your roads, I have to do stormwater management first, so we don't get the violations. If you don't like the roads, I have less people to do the roads.
Well, I think
Well, that's the bottom
priority is
line.
gonna
It
be
is
on
bottom
mandated
Yeah.
work.
Correct.
And,
Right, because I have the hours, like I
everybody
said
in
before,
life safety,
Yeah.
250 hours for sweeping, 258 hours for man hours. There's 1,193 catch basins, and I thought it was gonna be more, but there's 65 catch basins that have to be done twice a year. And then there's other things we have to go around, we have to map the whole evil. No, we have to map the whole area. And it's not just a couple things, but that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna
No,
say,
no, I did call the
we
principal.
try it this year, then I can keep good records on what we have to do. And then next year, hopefully you guys can help a little bit
How long
more.
does it take for that guy to go around and chip brush?
Some days, that Thursday or that Tuesday, sometimes a half a day, sometimes a full day. Some days if it's a storm, it'll take 2 days.
That's a real nice thing that you do.
Were you there not there for that meeting?
No, he wasn't.
You're singing Lenny's song. You're singing Lenny's
That's a really
song.
great thing that you do.
Right.
It's not
It's not necessary.
It isn't necessary, but I feel
I know.
it's
I
something that I can
agree.
give back to the taxpayer. They pay enough money, at least they can
I
do something
agree.
for them.
Yeah.
And that's part of your argument
For it.
next year.
Right.
That, listen, this is what we were doing, but I had to do this stuff because it's mandated, and I had to work with what I have. And so that nice stuff goes away.
Yeah.
You want it back, this is what you have to do.
Give me another person.
It's part of that balance that we talked about, is that, the quality of the services may be affected depending on the looking at the tax bill.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, Steve, I think it's great,
Yeah.
but we need, unfortunately, we're at need
Yeah.
and not nice things.
Yeah.
So how much time is envisioned to bring us into compliance on the stormwater management?
I'm really not sure how long it's gonna take. It's something new.
No guess.
All I have
So we may not even-
is the hours they gave us
The state,
on
the state
estimated.
sheet
Yeah.
that showed it's
Yeah.
gonna take X many hours for the basins and.
Right, that's all
where
I have,
114 came from, I think.
because we haven't,
What was it?
The 114 that we voted on?
Yeah.
The stormwater, that's where that came from, is that
86
state sheet that gave an estimate.
I had to give them hours what we
Yeah.
did before, how much it cost us to
Yeah.
hire a sweeper, and that's what they went off of.
So I think it seems like the sense from us is that, not to add more homework, but if this upcoming fiscal year you could be, not that you're not already diligent about tracking stuff, but
I already
really
beat you
like.
to it, I talked to Karen before.
Yeah, just really go into detail on this, because it's not only gonna help you next year, it's gonna help everybody who has to
Right.
review the budget.
And that's what I
just,
told her this morning, is
Yeah.
like, we gotta start keeping better track of what exactly
Yeah.
we're doing,
So we
especially around
haven't
the
been
ponds.
doing
Yeah.
the stormwater management activities regularly anyways, right?
Right, no, we just did, well,
So
we've always
how are we
done,
gonna have the labor to do it this year?
that's the
question.
thing, that's,
Well,
That's
that's
my
where the
question.
niceties get cut, or if there's a corner, my corner of town doesn't get mowed, or.
But I think there are pretty much already cut, right? I mean,
We already have people complaining about the roads last
Right,
year,
and
and I got that pretty well.
you're not gonna get
So
the
you're
roads
gonna
done if we're
basically tell
stuck doing
people
all the
roads are gonna get
stormwater.
Worse, because we don't have the people, so that's what you're gonna tell them today.
Yeah, some of us.
Make
Yeah,
make
but-
the decision.
yeah, but what? What's gonna be cut? You're asking them to guess now about the services versus guessing now about the labor for managing the stormwater and
The
stuff.
potential is
So
there
some
that
of
any
the
of the
stuff that
stuff
he
you get
has
cut.
to do
Yeah.
can be done by outside contractors. And then his job would be to show that it is cheaper for us to do it in-house than to do it with an outside contractor. They already had an outside contractor who cleaned out the catch basins.
Yeah.
They've been using an outside contractor for street sweeping because our sweeper was broken. So if he tracks it now and he keeps track of, this is how much we spent on an outside contractor, that doesn't take town employees to do it because he's doing an outside contractor.
Yeah.
And big road jobs, that also gets done by
Yeah,
outside
yeah.
contractors.
Outside, yeah.
So,
They don't have the crew.
We have the, yeah,
Right.
we have the small contract we get, so
Yeah.
we do the smaller things with the small contractors, but
I thought we were discussing these stormwater management activities will be performed by the highway department.
there are
that's-
certain things.
That's the hope, but if he doesn't have the manpower, some of the stuff he's gonna have to have done by outside contractors. And then he has to show that it's more cost-effective to do it ourselves.
Huh.
That
Not
one-
only cost effective, it might be more costly,
It's gonna-
period. I
I
mean,
didn't-
because you might find that 114 is underestimated. But that's what I mean, you really have to track it. And not
Right.
only the outside contractors cost you this much, but it took them this many hours.
To do that
So
job.
my guys could go in, I mean, I don't know if you have the equipment to clean a catch basin.
No, we don't.
So it wouldn't be the full one.
So that's one thing that we
Right.
can't do.
Yeah, so. yeah.
But my thing with the sweeper tonight is, I mean, like I said, it would pay for itself in 5 years.
Yeah, and I
It was
like-
gonna cost us, as a matter of fact, I got the final bid on, because I had to send out for bid for sweeping this year. And the lowest one is $130. Last year was $115. So it jumped $15 this year. What's it gonna jump next year?
Make your case for that.
And my only
I'm not-
concern with
I'm not
that though is,
comfortable changing it.
it's like if you do the job and you find out, oh, if I had this functionality on the sweeper, it would have made our job easier. You already bought the sweeper, you're kind of boxed yourself in, but you're not gonna get another sweeper, you know what I mean? So to me, it's like, going back, you're almost better off waiting a year, having done all the work, you now know exactly what you need and you can request the equipment.
My whole thing
that
is,
you
I don't wanna get in the
exactly
same boat that the highway department's been in for years. It's
Yeah.
just always put to the
Push it
back
off.
burner, just, it's
Yeah.
gonna,
I get it.
gonna last, gonna go, and then everything's falling apart.
You can't do it all in one.
And I think
Right, oh, I
too,
know
like,
you can't do it all at once.
I think we've had this, now that we've had this conversation of sort of treat, not that it's a pilot year, but to use this year to get as much data as we can about all the activities that you had to perform, all the costs, all the hours, everything like that, and then really come back to next year's budget cycle with, this is exactly what this costs, this is what makes more sense to contract out, this is what we can do in-house, like really just shock and awe
Numbers
data.
like the ambulance billing, for instance, is a very easy case start.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
returns it
Yeah.
immediately. So,
Right.
300,000 for a new ambulance is a lot of money, but when you make an additional 1 to 200 because you have an ambulance a year, it pays for itself.
Do you-
Yeah,
So if
we'll
you have-
never make money on our
Do you
stuff.
No, but
No, but
you
you'll
could still
save.
do the
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah, you'll save
Yeah.
money.
Say, we're spending this much,
Yeah.
we could do X percent, it would save us 30,000 a year.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it just makes
So,
sense.
Steve, why don't we set up some time and I can come down? You can give me all the requirements that you need for tracking, and I can set you up with an application to help you do all the tracking issues.
All right.
That's
Thank you,
awesome.
Fred.
Thank you, Fred.
That'll be great for next year, and we'll, like I said,
Because
yeah,
I don't like arguments we like bust where you can't, you're relying on emotion.
yeah. Do you have any other questions or anything for us? We appreciate you coming in, we just
Nope.
wanted a chance to chit chat.
No, that,
Okay.
I'm still gonna go for the sweeper tonight.
I know.
Yeah, we know.
Good luck
I mean,
with that.
it actually, good luck with that and the Kubota.
No, that you have the support, you have the support of the Kubota, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
and I'll explain our justification
Yeah.
for why the finance committee recommendation has changed.
Yeah.
Like Troy said something,
Oh, I would love that.
do I have the bruises? And it's like, no,
Yeah,
tonight's the
yeah,
night
yeah,
that I'm gonna get
that'd be
bruises.
Borrow your roof rake, though.
And I want to thank you for my going away gift.
We can talk if I get the brush mower.
Yeah.
Make it
See, now,
Yeah.
I know I won't have FOMO next year knowing that you're talking about Kubotas.
Yeah, you could just say the word.
I know. Thank you.
Thank
See you, Steve.
The year of the Kubota.
I know,
All right.
I'd be thinking about you next year talking about Kubotas.
Thank you
Oh, I
guys,
gotta go to
everything you guys do, by the way.
All right.
You can make sure everything.
Yeah, I get the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hey, good luck.
See, Steve.
Thanks for coming in, Scott. You're not in
Sure.
trouble.
Not yet.
We just wanted to talk to both you and Steve because we know, so during last night's discussion about the resource officer, we explained that FinCom rejected all new position requests for this fiscal year.
Yep.
But when we had were talking to you and Steve, we understood the arguments that you were making, and I think we were at least sympathetic to the rationale that you laid out for both of your new positions. So we're going to say the same thing to you that we said to Steve. We made the motion, or we put the town meeting on notice that we might reconsider Article 4, just in case we ever wanted to revisit any of the discussions we'd made about operating budgets. That was the only reason. What we wanted to see was if you felt strongly enough that you wanted to argue that position from the floor, argue for the new position that would essentially change your operating budget from the floor of town meeting. We at least wanted to have a conversation beforehand and sort of talk, and I think you heard a lot of the conversation we just had with Steve, which is that, we ask for level service, that's sort of the line that we're trying to hold.
Yep.
But we at least wanted to bring you in and chat about it, because if you felt strongly, then we owe you at least that conversation before we go back out there.
Yeah, no, I get the sense of it between what I just heard now and last night's meeting.
Yeah,
So I understand.
okay.
We'll do best we can with what we got.
And I think same thing is really, not to, again, give homework, but keep track of all the things that you can't get taken care of because you don't have that additional position, the projects that you would do, how you could save money over an outside contractor if you were to have someone in with a particular skill set that you're looking for.
Right.
So just like we were saying with Steve, like, give us tons of data next year, and we know that we had this conversation already and that you've already made a justification.
Especially stuff with like, oh, now we have to fix something because we didn't have the manpower to do the maintenance before.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's the big one for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's, I mean, you already know, I'm trying to go for someone at the upper
Yeah.
end of the steps.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
want someone that has some experience.
Yeah, and I think too, you could make an argument next year after we do the ADA self-study, that if there's a lot of repairs that need to be made as a result of that, or as a result of more and more OSHA regulations, I think put all of that in there too. I think the ADA self-study, for example, is probably gonna point out a lot of things that you're gonna have to work on and that your team's gonna have to work on, and then you break out from that what you can and can't accomplish given your current personnel.
Sure.
Yeah. But is there anything else that you want to chat with us? Because I know we haven't gotten to a bunch of your or Steve's articles, so.
No, I don't have anything big coming up, really.
Okay.
Windows at Pope's Tavern for 12,000.
Yeah.
The other two are pretty small.
Police flooring, I think, is still
Yeah.
coming up. Yeah, those
Yeah.
are pretty small.
The recycle flooring,
Yeah.
that may or may not go based on the fact that we may or may not continue the recycling.
Yeah.
Did they pass the cement things?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
they
SNP
did.
pass,
Yes.
did
Yeah.
pass.
But that was the exact comment that somebody
Right.
made.
Yeah.
Right,
But
but
really-
what should be considered is, that's not gonna go away in the next year.
No.
I mean, it's something that, there has to be a committee, it's going to be a study.
Yeah.
And then we would probably phase it out.
Yeah.
Rather than
Should have
just
to
say,
give everybody time
we're
to get
stopping.
that service.
It-
Right.
It's going to be a
It could
year
be
of
a-
research.
So if the flooring
It's
is
like
a safety
3,
issue or
4
something like
years.
that, it really needs to be.
Yeah.
And even then, it probably wouldn't, town probably wouldn't sell the building, probably just repurpose it.
Yeah, I'm not sure which way it would go, but it could
Okay.
very well,
Still might use it for.
right, it might be
I'll
used for
honest with
something
you,
else.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of work in my house, and that's the best deal, to get rid of demolition.
I know.
Yeah,
You know,
Yep.
me too.
Yeah.
I put my recycling out in my barrel for them, but,
Yeah,
so yeah, it's years away. Not that I think if you mention something, it's gonna happen before before they wake up in the morning.
No, but that was all from us, and not to, we didn't mean to like pull you away, but we did just want to like bring you both in for that chat.
Yep.
Okay.
That's fine.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you.
Does anyone have anything under as may arise? Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:10. People adjourn to town meeting when quorum is reached. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, make sure to sign in if you haven't already, please.